Time flies over us, but leaves its shadow behind. Happiness is a butterfly, which when pursued, is always just beyond your grasp, but which, if you will sit down quietly, may alight upon you. Religion and art spring from the same root and are close kin. Economics and art are strangers. Words, so innocent and powerless as they are, as standing in a dictionary, how potent for good and evil they become in the hands of one who knows how to combine them. Life is made up of marble and mud. Moonlight is sculpture. Accuracy is the twin brother of honesty, inaccuracy, of dishonesty. No man for any considerable period can wear one face to himself and another to the multitude, without finally getting bewildered as to which may be the true. Our most intimate friend is not he to whom we show the worst, but the best of our nature. Love, whether newly born, or aroused from a death-like slumber, must always create sunshine, filling the heart so full of radiance, this it overflows upon the outward world. We sometimes congratulate ourselves at the moment of waking from a troubled dream, it may be so the moment after death. The greatest obstacle to being heroic is the doubt whether one may not be going to prove oneself a fool. The truest heroism is to resist the doubt, and the profoundest wisdom, to know when it ought to be resisted, and when it be obeyed. A pure hand needs no glove to cover it. Selfishness is one of the qualities apt to inspire love. What other dungeon is so dark as one's own heart? What jailer so inexorable as oneself? Sunlight is painting. We must not always talk in the marketplace of what happens to us in the forest. A woman's chastity consists, like an onion, of a series of coats. Every individual has a place to fill in the world and is important in some respect whether he chooses to be so or not. It contributes greatly towards a man's moral and intellectual health, to be brought into habits of companionship with individuals unlike himself, who care little for his pursuits, and whose sphere and abilities he must go out of himself to appreciate. A hero cannot be a hero unless in a heroic world. The world owes all its onward impulses to mental ease. The happy man inevitably confines himself within ancient limits. In our nature, however, there is a provision, alike marvelous and merciful, that the sufferer should never know the intensity of what he endures by its present torture, but chiefly by the pang that rankles after it. Our Creator would never have made such lovely days, and have given us the deep hearts to enjoy them, above and beyond all thought, unless we were meant to be immortal. Easy reading is damn hard writing. Nobody, I think, ought to read poetry, or look at pictures or statues, who cannot find a great deal more in them than the poet or artist has actually expressed. Their highest merit is suggestiveness. All brave men love, for he only is brave who has affections to fight for, whether in the daily battle of life, or in physical contests. Nobody has any conscience about adding to the improbabilities of a marvelous tale. What we call real estate, the solid ground to build a house on, is the broad foundation on which nearly all the guilt of this world rests. You can get assent to almost any proposition so long as you are not going to do anything about it. A stale article, if you dip it in a good, warm, sunny smile, will go off better than a fresh one that you scowled upon. Caresses, expressions of one sort or another, are necessary to the life of the affections as leaves are to the life of a tree. If they are wholly restrained, love will die at the roots. The only sensible ends of literature are, first, the pleasurable toil of writing, second, the gratification of one's family and friends, and lastly, the solid cash. My fortune somewhat resembled that of a person who should entertain an idea of committing suicide, and, altogether beyond his hopes, Meet with the good have to be murdered.